Inside the tomb lie the remains of a woman. I don't feel good about what we're doing here. If we can just reach a new planet, our empire, how it would grow in power. So they're insane. We've already kind of gathered that.
An Eli awaits you. Come, let us depart.
I think it is a choice that they have made and not any sort of glitch on my end to make the music have this high-pitched whine in the background as if it's like sustained strings. But when it sounds like this, it just makes you want to tear out your own eyes. You just robbed a grave and you had no issues with it, Beef. Was it because that was a woman? Are you a sexist, Beef?
Though there are those who have revolted against our way of life, it was necessary, I regret, to change them.
At this point, I'm judging Beef really harshly for still going along with all this. And welcome back to Druid, Demons of the Mind. It's been a while. I was away and then I was busy, so now I'm finally back to finish this thing. I have to say, there's a sick, twisted part of my brain that actually quite missed this game, so I'm glad to be back. We were in some sort of lava island with rock people who we could smash. That's really all I remember about this last place. I don't think we had done much. I haven't done any leveling up or anything like that. We'll be happy with 13 and hope it works out. I am winning fights, so it should be fine. I went through some of these items in my inventory, by the way, and read their descriptions, which is easier said than done because the text does not like to work very often. For instance, if I go to this necklace, how this is having to work to examine these items, I have to mouse over the item, put it on my head, intuit where the quit button is, while the screen showing the item is up, click it, and then it'll pause the text so that it doesn't disappear. This game works really well. I have no complaints. I noticed that this says Maravonic, who is a character just one screen to the south, I believe, so I can give him this, maybe, I don't know, Muscle Boy. I mean, they're all muscle boys. There's nobody on this planet that doesn't chug whey protein. Welcome to the final part of Druid, Demons of the Mind. This is the third part and the finale, so if you haven't seen the others, I'd recommend doing so, as the plot of this game is esoteric enough without coming in midway through like you're watching television in the 90s. Unlike the usual videos on my channel, this will be the only scripted section you get. Normally, there's around 2,000 words of facts and interviews about the game strewn throughout the runtime, but that's already been covered across the previous parts. This episode is just a solid chunk of video gaming. There's still the same level of meticulous editing you'd expect, but it's almost more of a traditional Let's Play. I watched so many of those as a child. Probably my main media intake for a few years, which is grim looking back. Anyway, recline if you're sitting in a seat capable of reclining, get some snacks or drinks or whatever you like, and enjoy the culmination of Beef's awkward adventures in Navan. Thanks for sticking with the game. You hand him the amulet. Sorry, armlet. I thought this was a necklace. At first, he barely gives it a glance. Then a grimace crosses his brow. Then it must be true! A solitary tear traces from his eye. This is my wife's! I was told so long ago that she perished in the caves here on Rumi. Yet now you tell me you found this elsewhere and not on our world at all. What am I to believe? A stranger? You? Not from our world? You bring me something that even my kind hid from me. Perhaps there is truth beyond what we have always believed. Maybe that old fool Fergus was right. They cast him out for his talk, and now I wonder if it is not true. We come to accept what it is we are born to. Have I all my life accepted evil when there existed a possible presence for good? He pauses for a moment and reaches for a pen and paper. Here, take this note to Fergus. Perhaps he'll know what to do. Fergus, you were right. The friend who bears this note is with you, as am I. That's lovely. I mean, I don't feel amazing about bringing news of his dead wife, but at least it's closure. Now, who's Fergus again? The plot has been quite wispy. Let's go to the sulfur caverns. Sure. Remember back in the early days of this playthrough when meeting an enemy felt like a death sentence? Look how far we've come. I am now remembering maybe the bad things about this game, of which there are a litany. Casting my mouse across the screen over and over again like this, in order to make sure I'm not missing anything that is a pixel hunt nightmare. Maybe you pry up one of these boards and there's something you need to finish the game, I don't know. I'm guessing that's a sulfur cave, but we'll have to go through these first. Why are you running? He didn't even bother fighting me. Where did he go? I don't know if this game has the sophistication in the programming required for enemies or NPCs to go between screens, so I think he might just be in the void now. That makes me feel worse about killing them, because I thought these were mindless automatons turned into stone by the evil druid. I mean, this one is pretty overtly evil. There's no ambiguity here. They have some level of self-preservation because they ran from beef. Now, I'd run from beef, especially if he had this axe and was not wearing a shirt. This is sort of an isekai, and I imagine beef is very happy here. Now, is this sulfur or moss? I don't actually know what sulfur looks like. Do you want to fight, or are you just... Alright, whatever, we leave him alone. And this is exactly what I meant by scanning the screen. This pot of yellow powder doesn't do anything. This pot of yellow powder doesn't do anything. This pot of yellow powder doesn't do anything except in this tiny little square. The urn is full of volcanic ash and chunks of melted glass. I'm not 100% sure what to do with that information. A couple of comments did point out that maybe this bucket of sand that I picked up at one point could probably be used to hold those frozen potions that we found on the last island. Unfortunately, I am far away from that last island now. Hopefully those aren't necessary for completing the game, at which point I will tear out my own eyes. Oh, he's come alive. I dinged! Okay, I wasn't actually expecting that to happen. Hopefully we won't need this level of firepower. I haven't cast a spell in forever. This looks like it was crudely drawn in old Photoshop or maybe even MS Paint. The heat of the passage has slowly melted the paint on the now crude looking portrait. At least they admit it's crude. Still, you recognize Curak. High atop a peak he seems ready to command, perhaps as he always is. I wouldn't recognize that as Curak because I think he's facing the other way, but maybe he wears a specific hat with those little ears. A level 1 magic scroll. Yeah, right, take it. What is it? Fire mind for psychic burn. Do I have that written in my little nerd spellbook that I have physically on my desk? Hang on. No, I've written down psychic crush, but not psychic burn. I guess I'll do that now. I will use that on the next enemy I come across, just to see what it does. Maybe it'll have a cool effect or something. I don't know. Ooh, big stretch. I apologize for making that noise. It's very early in the morning. A heavy lidded implement. I thought this was another ladle, but no, it's a lidded implement. I don't know what that means. I have no idea what you'd call this. In my head, this might be used for like melting metal over a stove. A heavy crucible with an insulated handle. I'm too dumb to know some of these words. I know the crucible is a play. No colors of the painting match those of the base of the board. No, these are the colors of man. Blood turned red with the air and then brown with the wood on which it rests. Looking around, you see no victim, but wonder what kind of action could have spread a man so thin. It's just so unbelievably poetic. I love the dichotomy in this game between the broadly unnecessary poetry of the writing and the seriousness at which it takes itself, combined with what our character looks like and what we're actually doing. Wonderful time. The sulfur caves are a lot more well put together than I was expecting them to be. It looks like it's actually livable in here, aside from the monsters. You take a long draw from the cool, fresh water. I don't know if I would be drinking random cave water. I don't know, maybe if I was really desperate. I have potions. Hey, are you Curak? You're so muscled, and you've got a chiseled ass. You can't be Curak. Curak wears the sleeveless robes like all of his druid friends. When do I get a sleeveless robe?
Curak said you'd be by. You may call me Brim. Most call me Brooding, though. We're working on a fuel, trying to harness the strength of the volcano for the greater good of Ruby. The native gases that come from within the core are some of the most volatile known.
You want to get into space. That's the whole vibe, right? Is that the druids want to escape to space for some reason.
Most of the fuel research actually takes place on the common ground, though we provide the reagent for them. The fuel we get from the volcano's core is too powerful. They're working on it now to slow the reaction. We've succeeded in condensing the gases to a liquid form, yet the formula is still unstable. We're expecting Curak will continue research on the common ground. There's more in my notes if you're interested on the shelf over there.
You're a lot nicer than I was expecting you to be. I love how ripped you are. The tightness of that material as well. Like, that leaves nothing to the imagination. You can see each fold in your musculature. I think your clothes might be painted on.
The properties of the gas extracted from the volcano's core are interesting. It will set flame to anything it touches and explode on a moment's notice. Could a coolant decrease the combustion time? Glass-like containers provided for collection and compression of gases from core. The cylinders appear to be heat and pressure proof.
That might be useful to know. Maybe we'll have to get some rocket fuel and blow up the druids. If you don't remember from the last parts, I am fully on board with killing all these druids. They are really unpleasant, and I have nothing but shame in my role of working with them. I don't know if we should be standing here. It's lava. I don't think I can go any further. Now, where's Curak? Well, I guess he's not in these caves. He's in his fancy cave. He wouldn't be caught dead in this cave. Oh, it's happened again. I can't click on this statue, but I can click on this base of this statue. Not even quite the base, just this little midsection. Searching behind the statue, you find a strange helmet with a protective collar. What? Now, I can see behind this statue, and there wasn't anything there, game. All right, get your puppy play mask. Okay, I see what's happening. Now, just the helmet doesn't seem like it would be that helpful. I think we need the full suit in order for it to be airtight. I love that this is mixing primarily Conan the Barbarian-esque fantasy with strange modern elements every so often. I can't seem to wear it, but that's fine. That appears to be everything I can do here. Let's leave. Oh god, these are back up. Oh no! I hadn't saved since the very beginning of this episode. My hubris caught up to me finally, even though I'm level 14 now. Holy Christ. I didn't think it was possible for anything to hit me. Well, I'll rejoin you in a few minutes, everyone. Oh, I see what's happened. I was already basically dead because of the lava. I didn't even realize that I was getting cooked in here. You know what? Now's a good chance to use my improved healing spell that I learned earlier. Mind. Air, mind, air, mind. It didn't do anything. Oh. Mind, air, mind, air, mind. I might have written it down wrong, but who knows. This might be an insane thing to do, but is there any way that the protective helmet that we just got, the radiation helmet or whatever, the hazmat suit, is there any way that that stops us burning to death in here? I'm gonna save. I'm not taking any damage. I have it on my bar now, or on my icon, and I'm no longer taking damage. I think that's actually the puzzle, which means we do need to be in here in some way. I don't know what way or why. I can't think of a reason why. Maybe it'll become clear later. I'm no longer in imminent danger, at least. It's fine. I feel like Curak's castle should be last, so let's go to Hellfire Ridge. I don't know how nice this is going to be. I'm getting flashbacks to being in Spain recently, which is one of the reasons this series took a little bit of a pause. Do the people here mind that I've killed their friends? I guess if I was in this situation, I'd probably consider it a little bit of a mercy. If a friend of mine showed up as a mindless rock beast. That is an insane sale. Did you think that looked cool, or is it just... Oh, there's a corpse here as well. I didn't even notice him against the rocks of this, what looks like causeway? Are we in Antrim? Why are you just standing next to a body with a big frowny face? As you walk towards him, he says,
"The ocean's gonna swallow us whole, and the fire from within the core will cover and consume you all."
He doesn't notice your entirely puzzled glance. Seemingly, he believes he makes sense.
"Get your vessel. You blind to what's happening?"
I don't have a vessel. I've got some bottles on me, I'm sure, but I don't think that's what you mean. You inspect the man's vessel as he watches you from the corner of his eye. Looking over the wood, its grain is unfamiliar, so you reach down to touch it. It's stone. You look back at him wondering how very long, this man must have worked to chisel a boat from rock. Leaving him sitting in a boat he could neither pilot nor move from its perch. Would his mind recognize the difference anyway? Oh, this one was purely accidental. Wasn't even doing the scanning thing. Look right here. You reach your hand down between the rocks and feel nothing but the somewhat gooey remains of ocean life. What the hell? Why hide that behind some sort of pixel hunt nightmare? This game is bordering on hostile to the player. I don't think it's quite there, but it borders. The waterlogged body of a man lies still upon ocean shore. That almost worked as a sentence. In his pocket, you find papers whose ink, amazingly, is still legible. You grab them and back away as quickly as you can. Why are you so squeamish about bodies? You've caused so many of them. Report immediately to the prison on common ground for executioner duties. Okay. Hey, that means I can get into the prison now. I don't know if I want to get into the prison, but I wasn't allowed in there before. Maybe I'm meant to go back there. I mean, I'm not getting off this island anytime quickly. Goodbye. Well, that wasn't really much. I have the horrible feeling that there's things I'm missing that are important. That's a common thread in these games. Let's head off to Curak's castle. He can elucidate some things for me, like why I'm here. This doesn't look evil. If I wasn't evil, I don't know if I would live in a place like this. Just for appearance's sake. The guy really loves tusks. At least it's an aesthetic. It's better than a live, laugh, love symbol, I suppose, but not by much. There are 2 sets of stairs in this room. I don't know which one to take. It's really a coin flip, so this one, the nearest one. God, it's another coin flip, I think, because I can go down or down again in a different direction. In a maze, you follow the left wall. It only leads to monsters. And you look like a huge monster, and I'm concerned that some of these are now able to dodge me. That fills me with genuine fear, because if level 14 is not enough, what the hell do they expect you to do in this game? If I hadn't spent easily 45 minutes to an hour grinding in that second episode, I would be at like level 6 right now, maybe? Okay, you were bigger but no meaner. Oh, is this a new axe? It is a new axe and bracers. What do I have now? +6, and it looks insane. Basically a full disc. I imagine this would get caught on things a lot. Like if anything was wearing armor or even clothes or bone, if they had bones, these are gonna get jammed on them. Also, it has not updated the actual sprite of my model. That was too much. Can I leave through here? I can't. There's bars. I guess we're going back up. No, apparently Beef thinks that he is so huge and so ripped that he can't figure out a way through these bars, even though one of them is already broken. Oh, my mighty muscles, I cannot squish through them. Meanwhile, he's like easily stepping back and forth. Oh, Beef, we love you, but we don't quite know why. Down the other staircase then. Oh, it's looped. Miyazaki, who let you in? Curak? No, these don't look like Curak. But maybe I can slurp from your waters. I've done that with all the other druids. Some of them were more amenable than others about it. You dip your hand into the well's cool water. You feel its energy coursing through your veins and raise your cupped hands to your mouth. As before, the magical spring strengthens you. You wonder if Curak does the same. I would, if I had some sort of magical well. I'd drink from it fairly frequently. Might be full of radiation or something. We might have cancer.
There is still something you are missing. I can feel it and I sense it, though I cannot see in my mind what it is. Return to my people.
That is the vaguest instruction I have maybe ever received in a game. There is something you are missing. I cannot see what it is. At least it is something. At least we know we are missing something instead of him just like looking at us. You feel wonderfully alive and the memories of the long battle here wash from you. I don't know what that means. Do you mean killing all those stone boys? I don't really want my memories washed from me. That seems dystopian and cruel. That's a concept that fills me with genuine dread. This is the point where we might look at a strategy guide. This has made an appearance over the course of the game, because the game fully says in the manual, look at the strategy guide whenever you need to. Welcome to the strategy guide. These are the vague overviews of each island. There's more in-depth walkthrough-y stuff later on, but I just want some hints, okay? I don't really like using walkthroughs. I want to be nudged in the right direction so I can at least get something out of it. You must find the correct combination on the stone circle. You'll also have to speak to Curak, Rumi's ruler. He'll want concrete evidence of Lawson's fate. If you can't find any, try down at the beach. And don't forget to visit the volcano. The heat's a killer, but you can get and make interesting things there. We have a crucible. We can make something with that, possibly. Leave, Beef. Jesus Christ. I'm sure I cut out some of that there. Took me about 30 seconds to be able to leave that room. In the words of our great modern philosopher Nicholas Minaj, let's go to the beach, beach, let's go get a wave. It must be something to do with you. I mean, the boat's a nightmare. Can I give you anything? I might need to make something at the volcano first. Do you want this ticket for the execution? This magical scroll I found. Doesn't want that either. Do you want this note? You hold out Mariavonic's note. Are you Fergus? The dazed look in his eye fades away, and you notice a spark of the man, the brain that once was.
They never believed me, you know. Lawson is real. Zinarix is real. I know, and I'm on my way there now. You can call me insane. They've most certainly called me insane. But I've seen them in my dreams. Visions of the world where I will one day go. Others have left before me. Drem, my friend, left Rumi nearly 60 moons ago. His body never returned like that one over there. He, my friend, made it, and so shall I. He lay a coracle upon the waves of the ocean and let the tide carry him out. He was young and strong, prepared as you should be.
I have a note from Drem, don't I, somewhere? Fergus, I am well. Hope lives. Drem.
Yes! So it is. You are a traveler. I, so old, may never see Drem again. But you will.
He reaches towards the side of the boat and from the sand pulls a dagger. Crude scratchings are etched into the metal.
Brothers, I would rather perish than turn against you. And so I have, Lawson. Give this to Curak, my friend. May he believe his eyes.
Yippee! Well, that's everything. We can probably leave now. But what about the volcano? Hang on. If I leave before sorting out the volcano, will I ever be able to come back here? I'm terrified that I've missed so much. I don't know how King's Questy this is going to get, how Sierra gaming. Because sometimes in adventure games, which this broadly is, you can get soft-locked forever by something you did 10 hours ago and not realize it. The fact that they won't let me leave without getting certain things means there must be at least a basic ending I can access. I am increasingly worried that that's not the case, though. Upwards of half an hour since we died, by the way, and I'm still not at full health. It takes a while. I've had a thought, by the way, which is dangerous. There's volcanic sand and ash in here, and the notebook of the scientician was like, we're making these containers for the fuel out of glass. So maybe if I get the crucible and fill it with volcanic sand... Can't use that. God damn it. Wait, I have a bucket of sand. Wait. We still could be in business here. Where's my bucket of sand? Bucket of sand on crucible. Is there sand in that now? A crucible containing sand! It actually worked! Not that sand. The special sand we got from another country. You fool. If this works, I will be astounded, but I'm using my puzzle brain, okay? Special helmet activated. Now try and use the crucible with the sand on the lava. You lower the crucible onto the lava. First, sand crystallizes into a milky white glaze. Ooh. As the heat reaches its center, you witness the fusion of clear, bubbling glass, leaving you with a virgin, if rough, piece of glass. I don't like that you described it as virgin. I don't know why, but that's a word that really puts me off. I think it's one of the most unpleasant words in the English language. You know how some people really don't like the word moist? That's me with the word virgin or virginal. Ugh. You don't care about this at all. Piece of clear... Can I put this in my amulet, maybe? Sometimes pearls fit in there. Maybe this is like mega amulet. Nope, doesn't work. That's fine. I'm gonna show this to every NPC on this island before I leave. I'm laughing so I don't cry. I think this is how you could beat this game without some sort of guide or hints, is if you literally just use every item on every other item, every location, and every NPC, which would take days. But you could do it, because there's not much to the puzzles outside of that. It's mainly just who do you give what to. Like this jewelry boy, does he want a piece of clear rock? Please leave me. Perhaps Fergus can help you. He has a little bit. I can't even remember who you were, but do you want a piece of clear rock?
Ah, I see you have some of the clear rock. Of course, it's not so clear until it's polished. I often find pieces dropped by Curak on his way out of the caves.
Do none of us know what glass is? Glass is fairly complicated. complicated to make. Like, it's not something you'd just assume happens when you boil sand or whatever. It's not boiling sand. You know what I mean, though. They seem to have paper windows. Targus reaches into his pocket and pulls from it a gritty cloth. You watch as he twists and rubs the rock with a knowing ease and skill. I'm sorry. Occasionally he pulls the rock clear of the cloth and looks at it with a scrutinizing eye. Finally he holds up the rock to the light and winks.
That's it! Have a look at that! Perfectly clear specimen through and through. Odd shaped, I'd dare to say, but a beauty.
Maybe I could put it in the telescope back at the Druid hut. I don't think it's a hut, but you know what I mean. They have a telescope that they're looking at the stars with. Maybe it needed some sort of lens. I'm shocked that worked, by the way. I think of all of the places we've been so far, this is the island I would like to live on least. Just because it looks so muggy. I just ordered a dehumidifier for my house because I got a plumber in recently to fix some stuff in my kitchen. And he walked into my kitchen and went, "Oh my god, it's so humid in here." And I went, "Yeah." And it kicked me into gear to get some sort of dehumidification system. I hate humidity so much. I mentioned it earlier, but I was traveling recently and I went to the southeastern tip of Spain and it was miserable. I hate Spain. I'm so sorry if you're Spanish, but I hate Spain. I hate the food, I hate the architecture, I hate the weather. 30 degrees in autumn. That is not okay. But it was slightly better than, say, 22 degrees here, because at least the humidity was down to like 20%, whereas I've never seen the humidity drop down below about 90 here. I'm gonna look it up now. Everybody has to put up with my complaining. It's my video, I can do what I like. The humidity is 96% right now, and it's 15 degrees. It's miserable. It shouldn't be 15 degrees in November, that's a start, and it shouldn't be 96% humidity either. I'm not having a good time. That's why I'm distracting myself with Druid. Oh, you haven't announced yourself by saying,
"You haven't got anything for me, go away."
Now then, it hasn't taken you some time to get here. I'm not surprised. Have you anything for me?
You're very rude. Well, would you like to see the clear ball first?
Perhaps something else?
I don't feel good about handing you this dagger. I am broadly on Lawson's side, although I haven't met him. He could be absolutely nightmarish. It's all fun and games until the new guy is even worse. Yeah, let's bring down the Tsars. They're evil and horrible and I hate royals. Yippee, kill them. And then you eventually end up with Stalin.
So, I suspected. Turned against us, has he? The brethren will be pleased. Show me no more. I have all I need.
Is that it? I don't know if I can leave yet. Also, I get to keep the dagger, which is nice. This container up here looks a little bit like an ant farm. I don't know if those actually exist or if they're just in American cartoons. I've never seen one or heard of anyone having them. An insulated container. I actually slammed my hand on my desk. That could work as a way to hold some cold bottles. Do I still have that bucket of sand? I don't. Apparently I used all of the sand making this one little ball. I don't know how much sand goes into glass. I agree with the commenters, by the way. I think it would have made sense to put the bottles in the sand, not make some sort of ball with it, but this is the world we live in. My character refuses to go through the middle of this room. I think he's too spooked by the tusks. And so I have to come all the way around here, make sure I guide him every step of the way, step out onto this, and then he'll leave. Sometimes. There we go. Do I just go? I'm going to hope against hope that there's some way of going to these islands again later. Although that would make it very complicated, because that means I would have to scour them for anything I missed. So maybe I hope I don't get to go back to the islands later.
Within the red rock, the melted memories of all our ancestors flow past shallow molten pools, bearing deed and witness to all that we are. Day after day, the sun rises in the east while the moon shares with the world a momentary dark side like that of man.
The sun rises in the east. This is east. Is there any way that there's like a sun symbol on this? There's moon and sun. Okay. The sun rises in the east while the moon above shares with the world a momentary dark side. The moon above, that would maybe imply north. That's Navan. Okay, and that's the world. Hang on. Sun rises in the east. The moon above shares with the world a momentary dark side like that of man. God, stairs? I don't know where stairs would go. I actually did it. It's sun in the east, moon above, over Navan, and then stairs to the east. I didn't even really get the stairs thing. That was just process of elimination.
Congratulations! You are now free to leave at any time.
Finally, I have told my brothers the news of Lawson's death. Come, let them hear it from you. We have much to do.
You see, brothers, Lawson is dead. Standing before us the evidence of the truth. We have uncovered a blade that makes it all so clear. He turned against us as I had suspected. And did you ever doubt me? Fools! Of course you did. I am content to let our lesser brother finish his journey. At the very least, perhaps he will find what finished Lawson's mind. Bless the source!
I don't know why that wasn't voiced, by the way. Now, this telescope, can I look through it and put a lens in it? No, I can't. Cool.
Have you found anything of Lawson, brother?
Okay, you might be having a stroke. Or maybe you've just gone mad from grief.
We'll be off soon, brother. You have anything? Show it to us now, for we have more matters to attend to.
Alright, fine. If you want to be left be, I'll go. Yippee! I think this is the last room we couldn't go in. Charred paper. The Honourable Council, please be advised that the prison's entry has been resecured. Time is of the essence and the rest of the message has been burned beyond recognition. Well, I guess we're going into the prison next. When did I pick this up? An insulated metallic container cold on the inside. That's probably what we need for the potions. I don't know why I'm so fixated on these potions, but I don't remember getting that at all. This is the problem with leaving gaps. The clock case opens to reveal a hidden book. God, I'm smart. Notes on missions 1 to 5.
The telescope has not worked out as planned. So far, all we see are extremely blurred images. The lens is a failure.
I've got one. I've got one!
As an alternative, a series of missions has begun under my direction to test another space travel approach focusing upon the following elementary conditions and givens. We know there is a planet in our nighttime sky. If we could see the planet's surface closely enough, we could place ourselves upon it by willing ourselves there. As a group, we 4 druids can will something into or out of existence by concentrating the thought. If we create a landmass close to the planet, we could see it, and thus could be there. Naturally, the missions will begin with prisoners until such time as the method is perfected. Are you firing prisoners into space until they form a ball around a planet and then teleporting to that planet? Creation was successful. Lawson and Astor, however, were kicked back by a force. We know not what it is, but speculate that our landmass was pulled into the planet's surface the moment it was created. It is our hope that we can will the prisoner back before she and the land are consumed, perhaps allowing a momentary glance at the planet's surface. In all my years and all that I have seen, I never thought I would turn away from anything. We concentrated to pull her back, and she arrived a smouldering mass of human flesh. Mission 3 and 4. We've chosen stronger prisoners from the populations this time. The effects of gravity appear to be stronger than our collective minds. The prisoners returned, shattered. Scientists suggest willing a healthy participant outside of the planet's atmosphere to avoid the gravity and burn. W, one of our most formidable prison guards, was chosen for the task. I almost felt remorse. We told him he was going home. Indeed, if there is a life after this world, he went home indeed. I love it. I'm going to see if I can go back to this ice planet. I'm trying in vain to see if I can remember any sort of fictional ice planet from media. Best bet would be Star Wars, but I don't remember what the hell that was called. The one where he fights a Yeti. Oh! I just walked in expecting to have to solve a puzzle again. No, I can just go to these islands, I think. Bring me to Frozen Place. I can just walk there. It's so awkward. I guess boats are illegal, so that makes sense. But why have this animation at all? Now, where in the name of God were these vials? Oh God, this music is back. Hang on, it'll only be for a minute. By the way, I tried changing the MIDI software, and it worked broadly, but not in this game. So we do have to deal with this whining sound font for a bit. And we dinged!
I think the strategy guide and one of the walkthroughs, or maybe a review, I can't remember what exactly told me this, mentioned that getting to level 15 was like the sweet spot. So hopefully this is fine. I'd be more likely to live here. As cold and miserable as it looks, I can manage cold. I like winter. Remember using your body as a landmark. Vials. You grasp 4 frigid vials in your hand, but your fingers quickly go numb. I've got a cooler which you might store beers in. You pick up the 4 vials labelled Isran and quickly place them into the container. 4 vials of Isram. I have no idea what Isram is. I suppose we will go to the prison now. Maybe these cold bottles will be really useful. I don't know. Somebody will have a headache and we'll have to put a cold compress on their face. Is that what you do for a headache? I don't know. I don't really take any over-the-counter meds. I thought there were 5 islands, by the way. Maybe one is hidden. Maybe one is where the end game is. I assume the game will end in that restricted area in the first island, because I don't know what the hell's going on there, and they killed me last time I went to check. A well-oiled lock. Oh yeah, we had to use a key at this point, right? Go through my massive inventory to find a key. We killed some people in here, we don't need to worry about it. Locked gates. God damn it, do I have to do it again? Yes, why bother having 2 gates locked with the same key?
You'll need papers to get beyond here. If you're wishing to do otherwise, then come closer, and I'll be happy to accommodate you.
I think I could probably beat you up at this point, but I do have the papers, don't worry. I'm the executioner, don't you know? Look at my huge axe and rippling biceps. Even as you pull them from your pocket, you can smell the salty water upon them. But he doesn't seem to notice. I don't think salt water has that much of a reek that you'd necessarily notice that. Maybe it's because I've always lived by the seaside, so I don't notice it anymore, but is that a thing?
The new executioner, eh? It's a bigger axe than the previous guy used. Prisoners will be hoping it's sharper too.
I've heard that an axe is not really the thing you're meant to use for executions. If you are decapitating somebody, a sword is apparently the way to go. A big great sword. An axe apparently is a lot messier and a lot more grim, and people did not like it. Let's read this goofy poster that looks like it's in a primary school. No one admitted without papers. Enter at own risk. Weapons confiscated except for guards and executioners. Strip search required at guards' request. No visitors and no talking. Have a nice day, or else. A clock in a sturdy case, but the case is locked. Maybe another secret book? Let's go execute some people. I don't really feel good about doing that. Hello, I'm the new guy. Ah! What do you mean I'm not supposed to be here? I literally gave the papers to your boss, you freak. Right, now here's an issue. This is obviously some sort of collapsible staircase, but it doesn't go down. There's no lever. Oh, I've got a key, and that looks tiny enough to maybe fit in a clock. Am I the smartest there's ever been again? Because they've given me 1 item and 1 interactable object to use it on? You open the door and find a box which reads manual override for ramp. Use only in emergency. Flipping the box open, you see a single switch. God, I'm good. Sometimes the game throws you a gimme so that you don't feel so angry anymore. It sometimes works. Oh, that is a really steep ramp. Jesus Christ. I would not want to walk up and down this. I thought it was going to fold out into stairs. I guess they're trying to be wheelchair friendly, but this is not wheelchair friendly. If you went down this in a wheelchair, you'd gain enough speed and momentum that you'd go through this brick wall. And going up it, that would be an absolute nightmare. It would take you hours. Hello. I don't want to kill all of you people, by the way. So if you would just kindly let me past. It's not gonna happen, is it? They all take a few steps forward and then realize that I am so ripped that I can't wear a shirt. What is this ambience in the background? Sounds like Bowser laughing at Mario. That's stolen valor. I've never played that. I can go through this door, and that's about it. Oh no, I can go down this way as well. Let's explore. Let's go into this cell. There might be a friend in here. I don't know if you're a friend. This is always the problem with prison escape stuff. Yes, this is a brutal, corrupt, evil, dystopian world where they are probably just locking people up to use as fodder for their weird experiments. However, you might also be a rapist. Who knows? Let's have a casual conversation about what you did before I consider letting you out.
I have no need of food. Leave me be.
Then with a staggeringly slow movement, he returns his gaze towards you. On his prisoner's tag, you note his name. Kreitzer.
You're not the guards. Who are you? You bring an axe? The executioner then? If you've come to kill me, do your will and let it be on your conscience. It's my only sane way out of this tortured prison.
Well, again, what did you do? Are you a political prisoner, or are you some sort of Seville-esque creature? His weakened body begins a laugh.
Yes, a prison it is, but so is this world, executioner.
Suddenly, his eyes grow wide as he notices the open gate behind you.
Left the gate open. I'm free.
He looks at you again, perhaps really for the first time.
The tattoo on your chest. You're not a native of Navan. Have you come from the stars?
Maybe I might be an Ailamau.
Here we've spent, it seems, millennium trying to reach him. The druids, they seek other worlds to conquer, other lands to destroy, because Navan's not enough. I'm originally from Rumi, but was brought here to work in the science chambers.
What goes on in the science chambers? How Mengele are we gonna get?
The science chambers are the pride of the druids. They're building the space vessel there, and last I knew they'd not been finished. I refused to continue the work and was brought here. Take this pass. It'll enable you to enter the science chambers.
Alright, I don't know why they left you with that, but that's fine.
Kreitzer always repays his debts and I shall to you. Leave me to regain my strength, though.
Do you have anything cool in your bed? If you've been through enough, I'll leave you alone. I'd like to stop whatever is making that laughing noise. If I could kill a guy who's whipping someone. Maybe it's you, because it stopped suddenly. Nope, we're back. A strange... What was that? Oh, Jesus Christ, not again! It's been so long! And I'm back. That took so much longer than I had even anticipated it taking. The only different thing I did on that little loop was I gave an insulated box to a scientician to get some vials because I had a glance at the hint guide and it said that would be a good idea. I'm assuming this is part of the fuel. He was saying something about fuel reagents. I have a suspicion that it might be to do with these cold vials as well. Maybe we can make rocket fuel out of these. I'm sure it has said this in a book somewhere, but God only knows if I remember it. In fact, let's try that right now. Can we just mix these by hand and without any sort of equipment or anything? We can! You carefully mix the Isran with the Aktram. Yeah, very carefully, with my beefy sausages just waggling around in these vials. At first, the solution bubbles and sizzles wildly in the tube, and then the reaction stops having created the perfect reagent. We're gonna shoot ourselves into space, I think. Now, what exactly happened here? A strange smell, and then I die. I had just saved, it's fine. Maybe the special hazmat suit, will that help me? Nope. The lower you go, the more the feeling swallows you sense. If only you had something to clear your head. If only you had something to clear your head. I have no idea. Maybe a spell? Do we have any, if I look at my spell book, do we have anything for like head clearing? No, it's all stuff called kill and psychic crush, which doesn't seem that helpful. Sure, let's try the elder route. That hasn't worked either. Eep! Okay. That is so cruel, by the way, that you can't run away from that. As soon as you step on that, you die. I've cut it for you. I died about 4 more times trying various items. I'm leaving this room. I might finally not be murdered going into the restricted area. Although again, I'm level 15. I fear no one anymore, as long as I get the first shot off. I could probably take on the druids if I wanted to. They can probably cast huge spells on me before I even get to them though. You're still hanging out here? It feels like I've been on this planet for weeks, but maybe that's just because I'm slow in producing these videos. You're already getting squared up. Science pass. Permission granted. Yay! They're chill. An actual cutscene and monsters! God damn it, why are you creating monsters? Stop with the monsters. You're lucky I'm so beefy that I can rip them apart with my bare hands. I've basically got bare hands. Oh, beautiful work with that axe. Wonderful specimens, weren't they? Not too shabby in combat either, I must say. They've only just been created, the creatures that is, and they're quite active then. Yes, the elementals are created. You see, we've been trying to determine the effects of the mind upon various elements. After all, what have we but large moving masses of elements and energy? Nothing. Therefore, if humans can be influenced by mind control, so too can virgin fire, earth, water, and air. We're proving that, albeit a bit slowly. Stop using the word virgin. I said this earlier. Surely you've noticed the creatures in your travels. Why yes, when I last spoke with Curak, who said you'd become quite agile with your axe. The creatures we create are necessary, friend. It keeps things in check. Of course, I can't say more about the process. Our research is highly confidential. I'm gonna kill you with a big hammer. I hate you. I'd want a private bedroom if I was in a scientician base. This locker is appropriately locked. Are all of these locked, or can I look at one? Am I gonna have to click on every one of these? Oh, but this bed, you reach your hands under the mattress. Why? Why did I reach my hand under the mattress? Beef, what are you looking for? I know you found a small key, but that doesn't matter. Were you looking for pornography? Old-timey 70s pornography under a mattress in the format of a magazine. Use the key on the locker. Please report to the lecture room for a discussion of fuel mixture and intake. I've already figured it out. I mixed the bottles. It's fine. You find nothing under this mattress. I can check all the mattresses. Who keeps a key under a mattress? That is deranged.
Just requisition here, eh? I'm Ives. We've had a mess with the scientists lately. I've been working on the fuel mixture in the rocket myself. The fuel needs a reagent, and so far the mixers have been completely unstable. That's the, mess we've been having with the scientists. We lost 4 in the last moon alone. You're new here, ain't you? The rocket. The monstrously large metal object in the next room. Job stress gets to me, I guess. Think she's about ready to go if we can get all the pieces in place. Stop turning ourselves into pieces, of course. Hey, that's a joke, son. Aside from the fuel, the guidance system's a problem. Don't know the details of that. Perhaps you could work on that as well.
Well, I've got a lens. A shiny little lens. Lovely stuff.
Hello, my friend. We meet again, and I have held my promise. Creature always repays his debts, and now I repay mine to you, allowing you a chance to escape from this world. The ship, she still needs several devices to make her fly, but I can't let chance leaving. Here to find them. Were the druids to see me, surely they'd cage me again. Bring the devices and reagent here to the ship and get them in position. Then you'll be ready. Make haste.
Yeah, sure. Do you want the reagent right now? Papers, please. I've got your papers right here. I couldn't have gotten this far if I didn't have the papers, surely. Oh, look at all these ripped boys! Papers, please. For Christ's sake, I get it. Papers. Get on with whatever it is you're here to do, please. We have work to do, you know. Don't get snippy with me. I'm saving everyone, I think. I might be killing you all, I don't know. Vessel requirements. Items which remain incomplete. Guidance system, a magnetic element. An activation device, fuel and star maps. Oh, Jesus, I think we only have one of those. An activation device? I have no idea. I don't know where we're going to get a magnet. I don't know what an activation device is. And a star map? God only knows. I'm going to give you the fuel so I stop carrying it around because apparently it explodes. Here, you take it.
Now the rocket is ready. You may bid me farewell. Go with...
What? It's not ready. What are you talking about?
I feel I must stay. My industry holds me here. Make your choice. Save yourself or stay here. I believe you'll endure far greater danger than you've yet known. The ship will take you home, back to your world. At the very least, friend, it will lift you from Navan. You didn't ask to come here. I know they brought you.
What if I stay here?
If you so choose. Even as we speak, people plan to overthrow the druids to usurp them. How they'll do it, I don't know. They know everything. Every eye that's on you reports your movements. If you stay and they suspect you're coming from, they'll kill you in the blink of an eye.
Oh, Jesus. There might be multiple endings here. Hang on. Where's the door? This is very steampunk in a nice way. A panel marked magnetic guidance system. The panel reads star map, and this reads ignition system. I mean, I probably have some of these in my inventory because of all the random trash we have. Like maybe put the ladle in here. A fine sculpted dagger, holding it near your axe, you think you feel a strange magnetic pull. Okay then, let's put that in there. This doesn't work. Am I meant to magnetize something else with it, possibly? What could I magnetize with it? This ring. What if I magnetize this key? Nope. The coins. Nope. What if I magnetize this rock? The magnet clicks into place and the guidance system powers up. Star map, I genuinely don't think we have. I'm looking through it. Pickaxe in hole. That doesn't work. Ring in hole. That doesn't work. Amulet in hole. That doesn't work. Random lever in hole. The ornate handle fits firmly into place and the ship's engines thrum into life. There is absolutely nothing here that could be a star map, unfortunately. But maybe that's back with the telescope. Maybe I can finally use the lens. I'm using my brain here, by the way. It's firing on all cylinders. Don't ask me for papers again, I'm leaving. They're gone! And I can use the telescope! Fuzzy visions, maybe stars appear far out in space. The lens is broken or missing. Not anymore, because I've got a lens. Somehow he polished it exactly how I needed it. This time you see the stars crystal clear, and the planet the druids so long for. How beautiful, space. Looking into infinity, you almost wish someone were here to share it. The projector burned an image into the screen before it. Everything looks fuzzy and without detail. Why is it fuzzy and without detail? Just redo it. Like, use the lens. Well, that'll work, I'm sure. Maybe it worked. I don't know. A detailed map of the stars. Okay, the text does not quite line up with what I got, but that's fine. This feels like a bad end, but it's something. I'll at least want to see it. They're gonna make me show my papers again, aren't they? Oh my god, this game. Don't mind me just getting into this huge spaceship. Don't need to stop me or anything like that. No, I'm not holding this huge map of the stars for any particular reason. The star map slides into place. You hear her rockets fire for the first time. The space vessel breaks into the great blue beyond. You steal a momentary glance out the window and look down upon Navan. For the first time, you can see it all. Kion, Annalie, Rumi, and the common ground. And there on the horizon, Zinarix. What had these strange beings in mind for you when they called you here? And why you? You look upon your amulet as it lies upon your chest. You, full of magic, who left home but an apprentice, is now a full druid. Your reverie stops when you hear a faint whisper from somewhere in the corner of the ship. You turn slowly to look around you, afraid of what you might see. But there is nothing. It's all in your mind. You look back towards the window, and then you hear it again. You recognize the voice, but you can't see who speaks it. Kreitzer?
I, like you, my friend, can speak with my mind even as others use words and paper. My father is a druid. His ancestry binds me here. You know him as Astor, though he no longer knows me or himself. So consumed is he with power, there's no stopping them, only leaving them to their own world. I tried and was imprisoned.
His words echo through your mind like small glimpses of time, each with its own power, its own meaning. Maybe someday, friend. Maybe someday indeed you think you will see him again, somewhere on the other side of the stars. And that's the end of Druid, apparently. Well, one end. You know what? I need to see this through. Because that ending, let's be honest, is quite bad. Unsatisfying, and also it feels like we're dooming the world. How the hell do I get to Zinarix? It's gotta be past those evil stairs that kill us. So we need something to clear our mind. That was the hint.
You've decided to stay.
Oh, it's that easy. We just need to talk to him again.
I admire your courage, friend. If you wish to see this through to the end, take this stone. It was given to me by another prisoner before he died. He found it somewhere in the prison and told me it's a key of some sort. It may take you to Lawson and a means to overthrow the others.
Oh, it's just a stone. It's an Ogham stone. I still don't see how that will clear my head is the problem. I don't know how to get past that. Maybe one of these potions? I just don't believe that Beef would let this world be abandoned. I think he's been radicalized over the course of this adventure. As you would be. He's seen a lot of horrible stuff. He's participated in a lot of horrible stuff. He needs to atone for his sins at the very least. They've respawned? Oh, Christ. I've dinged though, if I wasn't already overpowered. Now what, do we have anything I can do here? What if I try using one of these potions that we have? Nope, that's not working. What if I take this potion now? That feels better. Run. No, it's just not doing anything. Okay, fine. How the hell do we get past these stairs? I might look at the hint guide here for a second. Oh my god, I've just seen what the answer is. I just leafed through my PDF of the strategy guide. Oh, has anybody in chat worked it out? I'm just gonna not acknowledge what's happening. I'm just gonna walk to where I need to be, and I'll see you then. This is as fast as it goes. It would help if I didn't go to the wrong one as well. The whining music, please! I'm at my wit's end. These creatures are more horrifying now that I know that they're some sort of strange test tube babies. It has taken about 5 minutes to get to this point, by the way, and we're still not quite there. Hello, friends. We need to get the nectar from the plants, obviously. Those hallucinogenic plant fibers that we inhaled earlier. We need to get a bottle of those. How could I be so blind? I've got an empty vial, fill it full of these. Also, now that I'm thinking about it, we never went through what is obviously a secret door over here. Well, well. Small circular indentation in the center. We've got a ring. A feeling of calm and serenity overwhelms you. Was that what I was meant to do? I don't know. I no longer have the ring. I have no idea what that's done. Maybe I'm wearing the ring. Maybe it's a mood ring. Or one of those scams where people buy like rings made of crystal or bad copper. And as they change color and mottle and break, they're like, it's absorbing my negative rays. You know, if you're an idiot. Alright, well, I begin the long trek back to this prison, so I'll see you in a few minutes. Occasionally I have a moment of clarity on this show and wonder why I'm doing anything. I like to imagine in the bad end, Beef just had a long, sobbing cry on that spaceship as he realized his life was meaningless. I have to unlock it every time. Is it you that's relocking it every time you enter and leave, Beef? As if so, you are a moron. I mean, we knew we were a moron. I almost want to kill this guard just so he stops asking me about the goddamn papers. Oh my god, Beef cannot stand up to this prison sergeant. Jesus Christ. Here are my papers, gentle sir. Thank you so much. I won't bother you again. Goodbye. Oh, you can piss off. Actually, you know what? I'm going to use one of my big spells on you because I haven't yet. I keep forgetting. I'm going to open my spell book, my physical book here. I'm going to use Kill, Fire, Mind, 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 Mind. There we go! That's satisfying. You inhale the waxy aroma of the rowan nectar. Somehow you feel suddenly impervious, completely conscious, and alive. Yay! It's another stone circle! We might be able to see Lawson! Because I assume he's still kicking on his weird hidden island. Thank you for fighting me one at a time. I think in a fair fight I would die. An inscription in Ogham. Love.
I bring you love.
An inscription in Ogham. Piety. And this one is missing. Well, I wonder what we could do with that.
Come to me, friend. You have opened the gate, and I have opened mine for you. Just step into the center of the circle, and you shall join me.
I'm assuming that's what Lawson is going to sound like. Maybe not. Yay! I like that there's multiple paths and that this is sort of hidden. Also, my god, the panpipes. Jesus. What in the name of God is that sound font? If that is Lawson talking. It could be, I would love it if it was just the 3 evil druids just sitting on Lawson's corpse mocking me by doing his voice. This music is almost pleasant, but it also feels like if you got a chimp to slam on a xylophone. Oh, it's a bit Egypty in here. I never went through an Egyptology phase as a kid, so I have no nostalgia for this. At least there doesn't appear to be monsters, although I guess there wouldn't be, because now we know all of the monsters are creations of these freaks. Like, we got the rock monsters, we got the water monsters, the ice monsters. I mean, who was making those goblins at the beginning? I guess maybe that was a first draft. You're just as ripped as everyone else.
Welcome to Zynarex. I am Lawson, the object of your search, I believe. And you, friend, are the object of mine. You need not fear me. I will not harm you. No, I have waited a very long time for this moment to arrive. I ask only that you hear me. Then you may be the judge of the truths I tell. I know what the brethren have told you. I disappeared, was kidnapped, haven't been seen. It's not true. And their brotherly longing to find me, the greatest lie yet. Of course, they want me found, but only because I stopped them by refusing to join the circle. As you know, we druids can will things into or out of existence by using the power of four and collectively thinking it so. Without my thoughts to fall in line with theirs, they are empty, useless, and so they seek me to kill me or to force me to join in line with them. It can't be so any longer. In their company, I feel myself drawn into their plans, participating in the collective force that drives them on. And so it was that I connived with them in their schemes, using the people who trusted them, the weaker ones, their flock. But really, it is they who are weak, unable to resist the lure of power. Any who tried to stand up to us, to resist our cruel will, were destroyed. Even Astor's wife. In lonely contemplation, here on Zynarex, the island of air, the freest element, and the furthest of the islands from the common ground, where my thoughts can roam unhindered, I saw the truth of our actions. We four druids are but prisoners here, placed in the cells a millennium ago for crimes on our old world. They locked us tight, hoping we would eventually wither and die. Yet so much power does not go unchecked. We escaped from their holding. Through what seems 1,000,000 immortal years, we have become the kings of our own domains. And how we have done that? The creatures you see? Only fabrications of the druids' minds, and nothing more than a projection of the elements they know so well. It is but a simple system to keep fear in their people. Their wells, the only source of their power. But how the power of the elements has been misused. The parched desert I have created, the cruel chill of an Eli, the lurking catastrophe of Rumai's fiery volcano. These are all elements out of balance, almost out of control. I fear we have forced nature too far. I have given you the power of my well, so that you may help me now. Before I left, I traveled the oceans to reach as many people as I could. I tried to tell them of the things I tell you now. I know not what difference it will make, but if I even touched one person upon that world, perhaps they will be saved, if my brothers don't snuff them out. Our only hope, the people's only hope, is a free world, free of the druids that seek to control it.
That went on for longer than I thought it was going to. A black cube of the same material as the black gem in your amulet. Holding it in your hands, you think of Lawson's words. the power to kill us all. And who should you kill? What? Well, I'm not entirely sure what to do with this. You feel its intense energy coursing through you. Looking down, you see the energy radiates through your amulet as well. You wonder if they're connected in some way. And if something happened to the cube, would it also happen to you?
You are wise to ask me the nature of this dark object. It is the only item on this planet capable of destroying us. Created by our jailers and captured by us when we escaped, it was kept in the Chamber of the Elements. I took it to secure my safety. I know that it can only be used once, and not by me, for I'm sure that I would be destroyed by it. Use it against my brethren only as a last resort, and then only after careful consideration of its dark power. You are among us now. I have given you my power, all my knowledge, that is as free as the wind upon Xynarax. You are Druid.
Title drop. Now, how exactly do I use this? I can oh, Jesus. Stepping above the altar, you feel draw. Oh, God! Oh, God! The Druid's inner sanctum. Ah! I didn't mean to go through there yet. I wanted to read more and talk to him more. Oh, God.
How did you get here? Wait, that device you're holding. You don't understand. You'll kill us all.
Oh, no! Not me, too! Oh, God, when was the last save this time? Oh, come on, man. Yeah, the waxy aroma's lovely. Get back into the hole, please. God, I hope I can skip some of this conversation. Also, how did you escape from your prison? Some ambiguity is fun, but that's a little confusing. I have a theory, by the way. I think I might be able to swap gems, because I had the white gem in originally. So if I use the lesser, but maybe more noble gem, instead of the dark gem in my amulet, it won't shoot me through the heart and explode me. Let's see if that does anything. Okay, I've swapped them. It's now no longer the same material. Maybe my druid powers are now on a different radio frequency. The candelabrum seems to glow with a white protecting power unknown to you. Upon the altar between the two, you see the strangest movements, almost waves upon the air. Probably should have read that first before just wandering into the portal. Also, he did say only kill them as a last resort, and it was instant. Beef was just like, and then just pressed every button on the cube, hoping it would kill them all. I like that, Beef. You know what you want. As you head towards the altar, Lawson calls to you. That altar, my friend, will take you to my brothers, to our secret chamber upon the common ground. Know if you stand there upon that altar, you will in the same instant be there, then your course will be set. You didn't give me that warning before I did it last time. I'm in the inner sanctum.
How did you get here?
The anger flares in their eyes and they appear ready to close in upon you. Then in almost the same instant they stop and their anger turns to paramount fear. They focus their attention on the pulsing black cube you hold in your hands. You watch the questioning glances among them, each trying to recall where they last saw the object. The fear, however, remains.
Wait! That device you're holding! You don't understand! You'll kill us all!
Your white stone protects you from the effects of the cube. Yes! Die, Fritz! Where the hell am I now? The haze of the confrontation clears from your mind and meets yet another as you slowly recognize your surroundings. You wonder how a druid's power could still possess the means to move you even in death. Maybe you think there's a reason you've been sent here after all. Well, it's probably going back in the spaceship. Maybe now I'm meant to go home after doing this. Hang on, I still need a star chart actually. God damn it. Back in a second. I also noticed that I have no mana anymore. So maybe the druid power that I was leeching off of is gone forever. I don't know what sort of world we're going back to as we go on this spaceship. I like to imagine that Beef just like works in an office or like operates a cash register at a petrol station. I know he mentioned being an apprentice, but I think that might all just be lark. I don't know if I believe him. Can I kill you? Are you as difficult as that sergeant was? No, you know what? You deserve this. I hate you. You willingly served those horrible Dark Lords. You deserve this. Stop making these elementals. It's bad. Cut that shit out when I leave. He doesn't even want to talk to me. Kreiser or whatever his name was.
Yeah, you killed all the druids, but I don't need to talk to you anymore. I already repaid my debts, and I don't actually like you.
I'm so sorry for ever using that voice, by the way. Stepping aboard the great ship, you hear the rockets fire for the first time. Second time, but in a different dimension. The space vessel breaks into the great blue beyond. You steal a momentary glance out the window and look down upon Navan. You feel a strange compassion for the man next to you who risked his life so that people on the star below you could live. I don't think they're living on a star. Number one, they'd die. Number two, why is he here? You look out the window to glimpse a spiraling Earth in the sky. Is it home, you ask him? Not yet. Eventually, though. I promise you will be there. He glances at your amulet as it lies upon your chest. You, full of magic, who left home but an apprentice, is now a full druid, in complete control of nature and all its mystic ways, in the space of what seems like an eon, but is so much less. You and this man beside you may have saved a dying world, and nearly died trying. We can be there now. Just use your powers. You close your eyes and visualize the Earth you have seen. Nothing feels any different until you open your eyes, and you realize that at long last, you are home. Druid. And that's the end of the game! We got through Druid, Demons of the Mind. What an insane experience. I mean, you see what's happening on the screen as well as I am. I felt like half of that was a fever dream, but I'll never forget it. Sometimes the choices I make in what games to finish and what games to leave are baffling even to me. Because this isn't a good game. There's very little in this that is actually objectively very good. But it's interesting, and that's enough sometimes. When you go back and play games like this, ancient games that are pretty much forgotten and abandoned, it becomes less about what's good and what's bad, and more about what's interesting and will stay with you. Because, let's be honest, most games are bad, the same as most media. Most video games, most books, most movies, most music that is produced is bad. And when something is abandoned, a lot of the time it is a hidden gem, but most of the time there's a reason it's abandoned and forgotten. So you have to take what you can. You have to look for the interesting tidbits in each thing. And this has a handful. I love the juxtaposition in this game between the incredibly self-serious writing and the way it looks and controls. Everybody being a ripped, huge man, barely wearing shirts. Nobody in this game has sleeves. Even the scienticians are huge. That's hilarious. The combat is the most broken, goofy, badly implemented thing I've ever seen. But then you have this story that is taking itself so seriously and it feels like a 70s sci-fi novel. You've got these goofy goblins which seem to come out of nowhere. The intrigue and writing are pretty good considering it's this kind of game. It's better than I expected it would be. The problem is that, my god, without grinding up, even at level 14, 15, I was still getting one shot by enemies every so often if you just didn't get lucky. And the walking! Oh my god, the walking. I have been recording for nearly 3.5 hours now. I have cut so much walking. A full hour of this video has been walking from area to area, picking up items. I don't even know what a lot of the items did. There might be more endings than we even saw. I don't know what the Elder Root was for. I don't know what any of these books did. We got a frozen fish at some point. That didn't do anything. Like a lot of adventure games, this is baffling. And like a lot of RPGs, it's confusing and weighty and overburdened. It really is like they condensed the worst of both genres into a vial and then made you drink it. Like a waxy plant residue that gets you high. But I don't dislike it. In fact, I had a lovely time playing this, sometimes. It just goes back to what I mentioned earlier, which is that I can forgive a lot of flaws, a huge amount of flaws, if something feels strange and earnest and sincere. And I think this is. I think this is exactly the game they wanted to make. They thought it was the coolest thing in the world. There isn't a cynical bone in this game's body. And that's refreshing coming from today's media landscape. 20 or 30 years ago, game studios were not as huge and shareholder reliant as they are now. It was still a thing, but less. And so you got games like this, where things were less sanded down. This was sold in a disc, in a box, on a shop shelf. This was not a digital-only itch.io indie game. This was a real product that you could buy. And that is charming to me. I would say this game is almost unplayable without grinding up or using cheats in some way, or using the hint guide. It would be a misery if you didn't have this strategy guide. So I'm not saying that you should play it. However, if you do all of the things that I did, have the strategy guide by you in a PDF, have the reference card by you, grind up to level 14, 15, 16 so that you never die again, then it becomes a straight up adventure game with weird sections where you just have to stop and fight every so often. It's still not fun, but it's less painful. That's the way you enjoy this game. The pixel hunting nature of the puzzles, the fact that most of the puzzles involve walking very slowly from screen to screen to bring something to a character who has never mentioned that he wants anything, in order to then get an item that you can mix with another item that really feels like it's just random, in order to plug it into a spaceship at the end, is just... oh, I can see why this genre of game died for a while. I think this game would be made a lot better if you could somehow mod this, and there is no modding scene for this game, to have a hotkey that shows up everything interactable in a window to speed up the run speed, or even just, as is the case in a lot of adventure games, if I double click on an exit, it just automatically teleports to that exit, instead of having to watch this prick walk. There is a genre of game called Walking Simulator that deserves to be called a walking simulator less than this game. I feel like I'm saying nothing positive about it, but I like it. I almost don't want to close the game. I had a really lovely time. I think that is a common thread throughout the games I decide to finish. I've played critically beloved games on this channel before, and games that I loved, but they're not usually the ones I play to completion. It's games like this that are insane oddities that really charm me and make me want to see them to the end and show other people the end so they get to experience it too, because I recognize the barrier to entry with running this thing is high. I've already mentioned things about the voice acting and the general unpleasantness of moving around and interacting with the game's UI. I've mentioned that the story is insane and mixed in quality, but that I like it anyway. I've mentioned that it looks pretty good considering the time it came out. This came out in 1995. It's an interesting midpoint, this game, between old school hardcore RPGs, some of which I've played on this channel, that are just so hard to interact with and so hard to move around in and very number crunchy and miserable, and your slightly more modern Diablo style gameplay, which came out a couple of years after this. Gaming was evolving and trying desperately to figure out what worked and what didn't, and I'm sure parts of this game and the Ultima game that it's apparently similar to got picked up and turned into Diablo and was part of that whole evolution. Anyway, I'm waxing poetic now, so I should probably end. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you so much for sticking through this series with me. I know it was only 3 episodes, but still, that sort of thing tends not to do that well on YouTube and my channel, so I'm happy you're here. If you did enjoy this, I would suggest going and watching the other videos if you haven't, and watching other videos on my channel in general. They all have a similar sort of flavour. You can like, comment, and subscribe. I love seeing the numbers go up, and I love reading comments, so it's a lovely thing to do. You can become a member of this channel for just €1 a month, and for that you gain access to occasional extra videos where I cover even more obscure games with far less research and effort put into them, and you get a nice warm feeling in your tummy for helping me out. I stream on Twitch 3 or 4 times a week. I'm on Blue Sky, I have a Letterboxd, I have a Discord server which you're free to join. Links to all of these things will be in the description, as well as links to the game and the music that I've used and any patches. Take a look down there, you might find something. Regardless of what you do, thank you so much once more for watching Druid Demons of the Mind. I'm happy we got a good ending. Sort of. Yeah, it's about as good an ending as we could expect. I hope to see you all for the next one. Goodbye! Day after day, the sun rises in the east while the moon above shares with the world a momentary love. I feel drained and dizzy like I've just huffed that sap.